Hi friends, this is Paul. Thanks for stopping by and having a view through my lens. Previously I had titled my vlog, branded my vlog, My Shorts, but as I thought about it, it really wasn't that I was making video shorts or anything to do with my shorts. But rebranding through my lens is maybe more appropriate because it deals with what I see through my lens, but even more so, it's what you see as you view through my lens. And today I'm at a promontory point. I don't know if you want to really call it a promontory. I'm up in the Los Hills in southwest Iowa, near Council Bluffs, looking down on Big Lake Park, and of course Interstate 29, the Missouri River, and then across into Nebraska, and Epley Airfield there way in the distance. As I was driving up here, there were 2 or 3 aircraft in the pattern just landing, and right now it's pretty quiet. If you remember, in one of my earlier videos, I went to a point called the Lincoln Monument in Council Bluffs and talked about Abraham Lincoln and his involvement in putting Council Bluffs on the map. And today, I really want to mess with your head because I want to go back to about 1807, and one of the founding fathers of our country, Thomas Jefferson, who was president at the time. And you might recall that Jefferson bought a piece of property from the French that was known as the Louisiana Purchase. And Thomas Jefferson ordered a couple of people, Lewis and Clark, to survey his new purchase. So here we are, the Los Hills above Big Lake, near Interstate 29, near Epley Airfield in Omaha. Trains and planes and automobiles. But up and down the Missouri River, we have to remember that Lewis and Clark were exploring. And it is reputed that on this location, Lewis and Clark had a council with the Potawatomi Indians. This spot known as the Council Bluff. So here we are. We've talked about the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, and now we've talked about the second President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, and his involvement in Council Bluffs. No, I don't think I can go back any further than that in history. I can invite you to read a James Michener book, Centennial. And in his book, he spends a lot of time on the geography in this particular area and really tells a spellbinding story of life in Council Bluffs long before the United States, during a period of time when there were more fur traders and trappers in this area than there were any other white folks. Of course, this area was heavily populated by the indigenous peoples of the United States, including the Potawatomi and the Omaha and the Sioux and many, many other indigenous peoples and tribes of indigenous peoples. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to come up here to the Lewis and Clark Monument north of Council Bluffs and share another little piece of history of the local area. Stand by. There'll be more. Let me try to shoot this storyboard. I can't get it all in frame, but you can stop the video at any time and read. Let me scan to the right here. You see a depiction of the indigenous peoples. You see a depiction of Lewis and Clark. You see a general map area with a pinpoint that says, "You are here." Now the sun is out and giving a bad reflection, so it may be difficult to read the bottom part of this. But once again, you can pause and read at your leisure. And of course, as with any place in the United States, there's got to be graffiti. Somebody has to tag something. Years ago, when I was in Boy Scouts, this was actually one of the destinations that my group would often hike to. On a day trip, and we would walk around these trails here. If you follow these trails long enough, they'll take you down in the valley, down to Union Pacific Main Line that runs north and south through Council Bluffs. There are springs down here where we used to fill our canteens with water. I think if our mothers knew that we were drinking water straight from a spring without it being purified, I think our mothers would have had something to say about that. We survived, so I guess the water wasn't that bad. And then again, we keep panning, and there's the river, Interstate 29. A railing post, and then you can see across into Omaha. Some of the buildings that you see over there, the tallest one would be the First National Bank building. The next tallest one in Omaha is the Woodman of the World Tower. And this is looking into the downtown area of Omaha. Of quite often you'll see in the news video shots from this location, because a couple of the local TV stations have their own TV network, city cams, they call them, located up here in Lewis and Clark Monument also. So we often get a good view of storms as they are rolling from the west to the east from this location. Okay, what are we reading here? Beneath the Bluffs on the Missouri, Lewis and Clark held parley with the Oto and Missouri Indians. Well, I said Potawatomi earlier, however, they would have been involved as well, and named the location, the locality, Council Bluffs. And this is dated August 3rd, 1804. A memorial to the Lewis and Clark expedition, erected by the colonial dames of America in the state of Iowa, and this is dated November 1935. So you see some of the history behind the area in date and time. Okay. Where I live, Bellevue, Nebraska, was visited by Lewis and Clark before coming to Council Bluffs and visiting this area, and then heading further northward into South Dakota and Montana, Wyoming, and Oregon, and Washington. Well, let's take a final look from up here at Lewis and Clark Monument from a different perspective, under the shade of a tree, looking down at Big Lake Park and across Interstate 29. It was a nice leisurely drive coming up here from Bellevue, and I wish I'd had my camera out and was taking more video on the way up. However, it would have been just scenic highway and probably not all that interesting. So I hope you've enjoyed this segment, and although I'm not monetized and I'm not looking to be monetized, I would appreciate a like, some comments, and maybe even a subscription. Even though my videos are not coming out fast and furious, I do like presenting them to you and hope you enjoy them too.